Okay, so we have started the live stream on YouTube, and we will just get started in a couple of minutes. Alan, how are you? Connecting to your audio. Alan, if you have issues with audio, you could probably call in as well. All right, folks, it's 12 o'clock. This is Sanjay Dalal. I'm your host for today, the founder and CEO of oGoing. We had to reschedule this event a couple of times, so my apologies for doing that, but I thank all of you who have joined today. And I would like to get started on a very important topic for today, which is, how do we really build that ultimate customer community online, which can help us in many ways. So let me kick off with a little bit of the roundtable and what we're doing here. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to share a quick presentation here. Okay, there we go. So let me share my screen and get going. So first of all, I wanted to welcome everyone who is here today on a September 21st afternoon, 12 p.m. Pacific here in California, and 3 p.m. here on the East Coast. And I wanted to start off with a really awesome quote by none other than Steve Jobs at Apple. He said this, and the topic today is about building the ultimate customer community. And he said, get closer than ever to your customers, so close that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. And this is very counterintuitive to a lot of us. I mean, Steve Jobs really believed in understanding the customer so well, so innately, that him and his team, that they are able to build all the awesome products, that Apple does, especially when he came back to Apple, starting with the Mac, then the iPod, and then, of course, the iPhone and the iPad. And as I said, the rest is history. But, the point is, and they were able to do that because they really figured out the difference in understanding the customers by being really close to them. Quick intro on oGoing and what we do. We are oGoing, the small business community, what's going on. And, we are the leading small business community today with over 150,000 small businesses, SMBs, and startup members, entrepreneurs. And the reason a lot of folks are joining online on our community is threefold. It helps them boost their website traffic. Because once you join oGoing and start sharing your stories, it starts building the momentum for your website, and it just keeps growing after that. And then, you have visitors coming to you as well. It helps you really boost your networking online. When you connect with so many members and as they start seeing and sharing your stories, it really helps you conduct some awesome business networking. And of course, it helps you boost your social media marketing. oGoing is all about sharing stories. Stories could be knowledge, your tips. Stories could be videos. Stories could be, products. Stories could be event announcements like this one. And all that, it really helps you boost your social media. And along with that, the more stories you share, it really helps you boost your SEO as well, which is the ability for the likes of search engines to find you online. So again, all in all, a great community to get started. Just go to ogoing.net. The key difference between us and them is, every new member that joins oGoing, we make sure they're verified. So that way you are making sure that you're only connecting to members, who are trusted and, who are verified by us. We are doing business roundtables face-to-face as well. So come and join us as soon as we make announcements for the next roundtable and the fireside chat. And what I want to do is, again, this is Sanjay Dalal. I'm the founder and CEO of oGoing. And what we would like to do today is really jump into the crux of the topic, which is the ability for us to build this awesome customer community online. But before I do that, let's do a quick roundabout, with the roundtable here. And let's go around and have folks introduce themselves quickly. Let's keep it to a minute or so. Let's start with Kumu here. Kumu, how are you? And go ahead and unmute your mic, Kumu.
Yeah, hi.
Kumu, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm coming to you from Boston. And I'm a high-tech consultant in the semiconductor and IT software space. marketing, PR, project management. And I do have a side passion, which is humanitarian causes. And I have my latest endeavor is in global peace. And you can see that at globalpeacesecretariat.com.
Thank you, Kumu. And just to let you folks know, Kumu has been nominated this year for the Nobel Peace Prize. And so she's an awesome humanitarian as well as a technology consultant. So Kumu, again, thank you for joining us and sharing with us your story. Let's go to our friend Alan Holmes. Alan, long time, my friend. Alan, go ahead and unmute your mic. I think you're on the phone, so.
That's me on the phone as well as the sound, so it's not an extra person. Thank you. Nice to see you, Sanjay, and congratulations, Kumu, for your accomplishments. My name is Alan Holmes. I am a proud oGoing member. I also am a master connector. I specialize in connecting business owners, entrepreneurs, and consumers with unique resources. So I call myself a human search engine. I represent various different companies, products, and services, anything that may help grow your customer base and or your strategic alliances. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this amazing panel.
Alan, great to see you, my friend. By the way, folks, Alan is a veteran as well. So Alan, again, thank you for the service to our nation. And I've been connected with Alan through oGoing and before that directly for well over a decade now, it appears that Alan, right? It's probably close to that. So Alan, thanks for joining us and being one of our best supporters of oGoing. Really appreciate it. We also have joining Ruben. Ruben, go ahead, please, and unmute your mic. Mr. Ruben Alvarez.
Well, good morning or good afternoon, I should say. And you know what? I'm blown away. This is the first time I've ever met somebody who's been nominated for a Nobel Prize. So this is a first for me, and I'm the biggest networker in Orange County. So I'm just kind of like without words to say. Congratulations! What an honor. My name is Ruben Alvarez, and I own a company called Stay Connected OC. And my claim to fame is that my list, which consists mostly of Latinos here in Orange County, is worth over $1 billion. So when I send out my emails, promotions to my list, those people that are reading it are grassroots and influentials here in Orange County. And I've been doing that now for 23 years and having a great time with it. And just trying to now, with the help of Sanjay, get to $2 billion, right? Thank you.
We're all on in this journey together, Ruben. So what's a billion here and there, right? So, but you know, Ruben, it's great to connect with you and thank you for joining. And yeah, you're right. We are absolutely honored that Kumu has joined us and very down to earth, a very humble, leader. And Kumu, when you get a chance, don't forget to add your website to the chat so folks can connect with you through your website as well. It's called Global Peace Secretariat, but she can put the link there. Let's welcome Steve here. Steve, please go ahead. Introduce yourself. Long time, Steve. Go ahead.
How are you, Sanjay, and the rest of the group? I'm going to make my long story. Obviously, it is a long story.
Hair, less hair, doesn't matter. You have hair, Steve.
So I helped small business for years. Actually, I think it's about 30 to 32 years. I've been helping small business, growing, expanding, selling, buying. So I am an SBA lender that does a lot of good for the community of small businesses. I got into this, I've been doing that again 32 years or so. So two things I was known for. The first one is, as you see my name, Steve Shaker. So I've been known to be the mover and the shaker. The second thing is The second thing
I
is
like the change of the way you say it. I love it.
the second thing I do is also I am very creative when it comes to business lending. A lot of small business don't know how to present themselves. I am going to be the filter between the small business and the lender. Actually, my bank, which is called G Bank, I don't know if you know it or not. G Bank is used to be called Bank of George, and it's located in Las Vegas, Nevada. They want to grow the SBA lender. So after retiring for 2 years, they called me back and they said, come and help us grow the bank SBA. So I am in that mold right now. Third, I get a lot actually of referral from borrowers, ex-borrowers, ex-clients, that they tell their referral, just go talk to Steve. If he cannot do it, don't waste your time. Nobody can. So this is my two assets that I live by. It's try to make the deal happen, and if it doesn't, I will tell you why it's not happening. So small business lender, nationwide, actually. I see Twila is in San Francisco. Maybe, I don't know.
That's a virtual background, baby. No, actually, I'm in Dayton, Ohio.
What?
Will, I love how you
But
threw.
look, I lived in California for 25 years and I came home to take care of my mom.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Is that a good picture? Let me.
That's an awesome shot. I love my daughter is there right now, and every time she shares me this Golden Gate Bridge, I'm like, I need to go and reach out. I mean, we are not too far, 400 miles away, still.
So, anyway, I'm happy to be back in the groove of business networking and business development, and nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Steve. And Steve, don't forget to share your contact info in the chat so folks can reach out. And I think the key takeaway here is you need a business loan, talk to Steve. That's it. I think we'll stop right there, right? Twila, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi. Okay, my name is how are you?
I'm great, Twila.
My name is Twila.
I
Like
apologize
Twilight.
for
But that's okay.
mispronouncing.
That's okay. So my name is Twila, and I was invited. Alan invited me, and I just remembered. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be in a Zoom. So I jumped on, and I saw you wonderful people here. And anyway, what I do is I teach financial literacy. So ultimately, since financial literacy is the #1 crisis in America, I teach people how to save money and where to save their money to help them fulfill their goals and dreams. Usually when we have certain things we want, there's a price tag attached to it. So I help them look for that money and help them make that money. Okay.
Very interesting, Twila. I appreciate that. And you mentioned you've been in California. You're right now on the East Coast. Maybe a little bit about your journey.
I was in Cerritos. I lived in Cerritos, California.
Cerritos, all right.
Yes, that's where my children went to school. I lived in Cerritos, and I came home to Dayton, Ohio, to help take care of my mom. She was sick.
Okay.
So I'm still here, and she decided that she would go see the big guy.
Okay.
So I'm here taking care of legal matters.
Okay. My prayers with you and the family, but all right.
And my mission is no family left behind, not one single person left behind. So I would love to sit down with whoever wants to listen about how to save their money, because most of America don't know. We weren't taught.
I think I read somewhere that most of America has normally like a month or 2 months of savings in the bank. That's kind of
Maybe.
wow. Yeah.
Maybe. maybe.
Definitely. No, thanks for joining, and we probably could do a workshop with you in the future. So I'm going to keep you.
Okay,
Sure.
okay,
Yeah,
cool. That's nice. Thank you.
absolutely. Go ahead, JT. Introduce yourself, JT. Unmute your mic. You're able to do that. Otherwise, we'll get back to him. Okay, there you go. JT, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna talk, but
No, just a quick intro will be great.
so yes, I'm Jay Talavia. I run a startup, a health tech startup, primarily focusing on virtual care platform for providers. Our clients include urgent care, medical practices, healthcare organizations who wants to build their telehealth practice, and we help them out by providing the platform.
That's great.
Great to see everyone, and looking forward to learning more about other people.
Absolutely, Jay. And how's the business going this year?
Good. Making progress.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for joining. So again, we'll introduce more folks as they're joining in, but let me go ahead and start off by sharing some live communities that we have developed at oGoing, especially to help business owners. And besides joining the main community, which is oGoing, at ogoing.net, you can see that link behind me here on the Zoom here. But besides that, I would love for all of you to join some of these communities as well. And so let's start with that. And then what I'll do is I'll come back with 10 key points that can help you build your own community online. And of course, we would love to help you build that as well if you need our help. But so let's start off by sharing something out there which is amazing. So let's start with a couple of communities on Facebook that we have developed. And this one here is called Orange County. So of course, oGoing, and we are based in Orange County, California. So we have created this community page here. As you can see, we have about, this is the one on Facebook. I think the page is loading. It's about 4,800 connections here. And, it took us a while, right? So it wasn't like we built it and, we got to this number. We shared a lot of good content about what's happening, in our Orange County community, and ultimately how it helps the different business owners who join, and and of course we share when we do online events and everything as well. So the key with building communities like this is, one of the thought is, what is the focus on, right? What are we focusing the community on? So you should always think about the focus, in terms of your target audience, and I'll talk about that, in the 10 points that helps you build your community. But to just give you a sense of the folks here, so if you go under Facebook, they let you see who your followers are. So I just want to, it just gives you a sense of the different people who are connected to our community, and so definitely a lot of local businesses, professionals and so on. So again, this is the external community that oGoing has developed for our Orange County businesses. Concurrent to that, we also developed an internal community, which is a little wider than Orange County. So we call it SoCal Business Networking. And that's also available on Facebook. And I'll be happy to share all these links with you afterwards. And this community has, as you can see, we have members joining every day. And if I look under the people, so let's see who are the folks on this one. And again, this encompasses 4 areas: Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, and Inland Empire. Just this week, we got 46 new members. So, of course, I can write a welcome post for these folks here who are here, and have them be welcomed, to this community, which I just did. And the advantage of a community like this is you're leveraging the existing power of the platform here, which is, in this case, Facebook. And you can see all our members here. I can look at them through areas within Southern California as well. I can promote these members to different qualifications. So what happens when people are joining? Well, when they join, I get requests, that these folks want to join. And obviously sometimes we get people from outside, so we normally only submit people who are, when they say they are a Southern California resident, and of course they agree to the group rules. So we're very kind of choosy on who should be able to join. So for example, this lady here, she just requested to join. She lives up in Murrieta, and as you can see, she's a business owner at Sweet Stems Florist, as well as a couple of other businesses. So she's definitely a parallel entrepreneur, right? And we say, yeah, this looks like a good member to have on our community, and then we'll approve her membership. So again, very focused on Southern California, if you may, and yeah, we get folks trying to join every single day. So I invite some of you folks to as well join. We have Steve raising his hand. Steve, go ahead.
Just a question. I never joined Facebook. Never was a member. Never really was a fan of Facebook.
Yeah, that's fine.
But can you join without Facebook?
So no, this two communities, you do need to be a member of Facebook to join in this particular instance. But we have communities on other platforms as well. I was just about to show you LinkedIn as well. So,
Okay.
So are you on LinkedIn, Steve? Or?
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at LinkedIn next. So again, the point I'm trying to make is this communities did not happen overnight. So some of them happened over the last, I would say 5 to 7 years, right? So, obviously some communities happen very quickly based on what your audience is, but some of them do take time to build it. But once you build it, then you as an owner have access to a lot of these members. I also help other business owners who join this community. I help promote their content on these communities. I help share what they do. So this way, they get to participate and engage as well. So let's look at another community that I've created on LinkedIn, which is similar name, Southern California Business Owners. And over here we have Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, Inland Empire. So again, Facebook has similar community, and you can see some of the members that have recently joined. So if you look at the request to join, we get a lot of requests, and I don't basically accept everybody who tries to join in, but to just give you a sense of what's going on here. Right. So what I would typically do is when somebody is requested to join, I will come here and basically say, are the folks in the LA metro area? And if they are, then the next thing I will do is go on their profile. So for example, this gentleman here wants to join. His name is Greg Padawan. And yeah, I can see like he's in business solutions, insurance services, LA metro area, looks great. So, he could definitely add value to our community. And then, of course, I can, have him, come and approve it, and then I'll welcome him. So now, when we have members who are dedicated to a local community like SoCal, what it does is it allows you, even after you join, you can do the same as I'm doing, and you can come and look at all the members of this community and essentially message them. And again, so we are doing the hard work of making sure these members are local and they're focused on the areas which is business. And besides joining, you can also share content. So one of the things you can do is so for example, this gentleman here who's in 3D printing, he has shared a content here asking folks to sign up for his newsletter. So yeah, we can say, oh, that's a good content. So we do a little bit of content moderation as well. And what you can do is look at the live community in action, if you may. And it will, so of course you can see today's event that I had shared here, like asking folks to join. But besides my content, you can see content from different members of the community. Here is Erika Rani Chopra. She's the owner of the Maharani's Mithai. I believe that's Indian sweets. Indian bakery. There you go. In San Diego, there you go. And she has shared some nice content about what all you can go and get from her place. And here is a business attorney. Here is somebody in media production, another gentleman in financials and so on. So again, we have different folks who are coming in. Here's a lady stand-up and a creator. So it's a thriving community of different owners, and welcome you to join. And the good news is we're going to think of making this community public. And when we do that, as LinkedIn is already telling us, we will give our business owners even more visibility to all the content they're sharing. Another community I created, it was interesting, back in the 2008-2009 timeframe, I was actually managing an alternative investment fund called, Innovation Index Fund. And I thought I should create a community around that, for fund managers and folks who are into hedge funds. And as you can see, this community has grown quite a bit to over 25,000 members now. And lots of activity here, again, this is mostly focused on financials and, folks who are into mutual funds and that industry. But again, the fact of the matter is this community is growing, as you can see, we have 88 requests to join. So, we get about 50 odd requests every day from people to join. And once you join, you can look at every other member of the community as well as share content with them. Now, one of the newer communities I'm beginning to explore as well is on Twitter, or now it's called X. I think the website is still Twitter, but again, it's the community we're trying to build out. It's called Small Business Success. And I'll give you an update on this. It's still small. We're still trying to understand the Twitter platform better, and see if we can make the most of this platform as well. What I'm not able to show is another community we have, which is on WhatsApp, which is another application a lot of folks use. And WhatsApp is primarily on your mobile phones, so you can't really see that right now. But that's another area where we do help a lot of business owners as well. So what I wanted to do was first do a quick sharing of what's happening, on online at different communities we have created, and the value of being in the midst of other members, and the ability for you to then connect with them. Of course, I would love for all of you to join oGoing. If you've not done that, go to ogoing.net and click on sign up and join our community as well. So what I want to do is now go back to the main presentation before I share with you the 10 steps for building your own business community.
Sanjay, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? I think you glossed over something that a lot of people are afraid to, or just don't mention. The cold hard truth. Job. This is your full-time job. And everybody tries to get skirt around the fact that, you got to go and you got to scrub and you got to find out who these people are in order to have an effective list. And it takes work, it takes time. And I know that for a lot of us, we go like, hey, we don't have enough time, we're out there hustling. But, Sanjay, hats off to you for you get it. You got to do this. This is part of your work. You can't just gloss over it and do it like, once a week or maybe even once a month. You got to grind in there every single day. People say how come you're going to all these things and why are you so active on social media? That is one of the reasons why, is because I am going through getting lists, getting people, getting events, and that's my job. So if you think that you're going to shortcut this thing and just say, okay, I'm going to get an AI program and it's going to do all my stuff for me, you're barking up the wrong tree, or you have really bad expectations, because it takes work. And Sanjay, like I said, hats off to you, because you know the work that it takes. And I just want to give my hats off to you to keeping it going, especially, for as long as you have, and especially during COVID. So thank you.
No, Ruben, it's huge, right? And what I didn't share today is another type of community, which is really building up your email list, right? So a lot of folks, they build what I call is a newsletter community, and that's exactly what Ruben has done, and an excellent job. And he has such a huge database of contacts, who have signed up for his newsletter. And that actually is another way to form a very large community of influence. And what he does is he shares this awesome newsletter with his community, and he, and now he has connected that to his website. So again, community building is a lot of work. It's actually probably more work than you can imagine, and sometimes a thankless job. But the best reward you have is when members actually connect, and they actually find ways to collaborate. A lot of people come and tell me, hey Sanjay, we met such and such on oGoing, on your roundtable, on oGoing.com, on some of the communities you've created, and you know what, we were able to connect and collaborate and actually do some business. And to me, that's probably the most gratifying when you hear that. So and thanks, Ruben, for sharing and giving us feedback. Really appreciate it. So what I want to do now is quickly show you the 10 steps. So one of the things you probably already heard me saying is it takes some patience for sure. Community building is not something you can just quickly say, let's just go and do this and it's done, right? And if you find a way to do it, let me know. I'm all ears. But so let me go ahead and share the main steps of building this awesome communities. And feel free. Let's make this interactive, so you can stop me anytime and let me know if you have any questions. But how do you really build that ultimate online customer community? And I think, as with everything else we do, the most important first step is to define the purpose. What are you trying to do? And what is the purpose of this community, right? So when I built these communities, which I shared with you, some of them, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, X, etc., my main purpose was to connect local business owners, right? So I'm like, if we can find a way to connect the local business owners, be it in Irvine, be it in Orange County, be it in Southern California, be it in LA, or be it focused, in a certain, industry, then wouldn't that be great? Because once they're connected, then they will find ways to, collaborate and hopefully do business. And that's kind of the value, right? So align with your purpose and goals. What is the value that you're going to create for these members, right? And I think that is very important. Now, once you do that, then the second is, as we talked about, the target audience. So, depending on what community you want to build, right? So, in Ruben's case, let's say if he's focused on, if I take your example, Ruben, on the Latino and or the Hispanic community, let's say in Southern California, then, and that too, within that, he could say, I want to focus maybe the business owners in there. So again, it's very important to then identify who that audience is and then to keep that close. Because, it's probably easy to say, let's just, shoot as far wide as we can, right? And we'll just shoot everywhere and hopefully the actual audience will come through, and that never happens, right? So it's actually important to take those hard steps initially and say, look, let's be very careful about who we pick in our community. And right from the get-go, we will define that audience, and then we'll tailor everything to them, right, as they come and join.
And if I could just put a little caveat to that, be conscious of who they are, because you might develop a separate community within that. And that's what happened to me. I started out with businesses, and now my moneymaker is entertainment. So I was cognizant of going, I can't just send out just news information, because these entertainment people want me to broadcast to the same, or to the same demographic. So all of a sudden my market opened up twice as big. So you got to be cognizant of who's there, and then also mining who else might be there that you can make money off of.
That's a great point. So I think what Ruben also is saying is be receptive to pivot if you need to, or add a complementary, community and or targeting, right? So as you're growing the community, if you say, in his example, if the entertainment could be fairly lucrative and a money maker, and if it's not that much of a step to make a jump to, then by all means, yeah, you should be very open to doing that. Absolutely, Ruben. Thank you. And then of course the platforms, right? So besides the fact that yes, we can grow a community through emails as well, like subscribers to your email newsletter. So that's actually a great way to do that. But some of the platforms that you can look at, like the ones I showed you earlier. Another very good platform for forums is Reddit. I don't know if you're all active on news, and Reddit is a great way to go and look up the news and look at how everybody is sharing, and importantly, I would say communicating or providing their opinions on news. And we looked at some of the social media communities already, like LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp. I talked about Twitter, which is now X. Or you can even look at dedicated community software, which I didn't show you today, but we have also used Slack as well as Discourse. And you may actually have gotten invitations from either of those platforms. For instance, whenever we, recently I participated in Dreamforce virtually online, and we use Slack as one of the communities there, as well as Apple has also, used Slack for its Apple developer community whenever they are doing their online forums. So again, those could be viable platforms to use as well. I think this is very important. I was sharing with you some of the guidelines we had quickly done, for Facebook groups earlier. I think this, if you don't do this, what happens is people will start sharing all kinds of content, and there will always be a few people who may derail your community. So most importantly, as you're forming it, make sure you share the guidelines to all your members, and importantly, as they're joining, they should still be aware of where to go to check those guidelines, right? So a lot of these community tools, they allow you to do that. And don't be afraid in sharing them once a week if you need to initially, till folks really understand that these are the kind of terms that they have in terms of how they communicate, what they share, how they comment, what they should not do, and all those good things. Because this helps you build your community, for the long term. And I've had instances earlier when I was trying to build oGoing personally, the oGoing.com community, where folks came in and they started sharing a lot of spammy content and didn't realize that. And what happened was later on, we found out that we took a big hit because of that. And then we started moderating the content as well as moderating the people when they join. So that way, what we will do is when some new members join, we will make sure that initially for the first week or two, their content is moderated. And once we know like what kind of content they're publishing, then we kind of allow them to start publishing content on their own without moderation. So again, these are some of the things you want to be careful of. And yes, you want to encourage mutual respect, inclusivity, and most importantly, constructive dialogue. Yeah, and now that you're ready to launch your initial new community, make sure you have an initial content plan. This is kind of your marketing 101, and ultimately kickstarting the engagement, right? So what you don't want is just 1 or 2 or 3 members publishing content all the time, because then people will get tired of that very quickly. So you want to encourage all your members to share some great content as well, and that's what is going to create folks to come back, right? So because how do people come back? When they see that other people are sharing content, when they see that their content is being engaged on, and that's how they're going to come back and do more with you. Recruit some of the core members, right? So initially in the early goings, as your community is small, make sure you identify who are your active members, who are going to be the ones who are going to be contributing, and who are you going to be, looking at to help you grow this. So by identifying those core 5 to 10 members, this actually goes a long ways towards getting to your 100, to 500 members, goal initially, right? So again, this is critical. And then as you are growing beyond a certain, let's say 100 or 500 mark, then you want to then appoint some moderators or community managers so they can also help you, enforce some of the guidelines you had earlier, and of course creating an awesome atmosphere, online as well. Because again, the biggest challenge online is spam, and if people are sharing conflicting data, or even worse, they're having discussions which are going outright. So again, you want to make sure your moderators who manage all this from the get-go. Promoting your community, right? So as you're growing, don't be shy, be unabashed, if you may, to sharing this on many different marketing channels, including social media, including your website, including your email newsletters, and so on and so forth. So again, otherwise, how would people know? So when we were growing oGoing.com, many of you probably have seen my emails that came to you early on, and I still share as I'm sharing the events. And that's a great way. An email newsletter is a great way to promote your community. But most importantly, highlight the benefits. Why should people join? And as folks are joining and they are seeing some successes from connecting with other members, make sure you share some of those success stories as well. So again, promoting your community is a full-time job. Even when you reach 1,000 members, you still have to keep promoting if you want to keep growing. And going at 150,000 members now, and we still are out there promoting, not so much the directly oGoing, but what we are doing is we are promoting a lot of our members and their profiles and what they are doing on oGoing. So we are using a different tag now. We are saying we are not just promoting the community, but we are really promoting the members who have joined and what they are doing on our communities. And that's a great way to get the ball rolling. And a community can't be a community if there is no engagement, right? So at the end of the day, you build this awesome community, you identified your audience, you have started promoting it, people are joining, but what if there is no engagement? So can engagement be automatic? It can be if the topics are great, but many a times engagement is not automatic. And then in those scenarios, you have to make efforts to actively engage the members, and importantly, encourage the participation, because it's folks, not everybody is going to be open to engaging online. So again, you want to make sure you're responding to comments when people are sharing them, asking questions, and really facilitating healthy discussions. Empower your members, right, to contribute to the community, and you get them to share what they do, their expertise, insights, and so on. And some of the communities also provide abilities to reward members. So they get different kind of badges or recognitions, and that again gives them a reason to come back and do more on the community. Be aware of getting critical feedback. If members are not enjoying things, or they're telling you something which is not going well, make sure you solicit that feedback and be aware of changing your group norms as needed. This is something, an ongoing active community. So you have to be open to learning from it and ultimately growing along with your members. Do webinars such as this, right, to engage your community and ask people to come and ask you anything, and also some interactive events, including maybe as needed face-to-face events. And oGoing has conducted more than 50 to 60 face-to-face events over the last few years, and we actively do that to engage our offline community and have people come and join us as well. So again, make sure you focus on engagement, and along with engagement, the value. So at the end of the day, what is the intrinsic value that people come back for, right? So if they're going to be able to share some great content And if that content is getting some good engagement, interaction, then that's a great value. Then people will come back for that. They'll definitely come back because they are saying, oh yeah, I'm sharing all this content, I'm asking questions, I'm offering up my feedback, and my members are actually responding to that. That's a great reason for them to come back. If you are recommending other members or other businesses, and they are seeing that you're recommending them and you are talking up some great things about them, then they will also want to come back and be part of the community. Ultimately engagement and value, they go hand in hand. So again, it's your job to make sure that you're creating that great value. And in our communities, one of the values we have created is the fact that members connect to each other. And when they connect, they start exchanging some ideas, they exchange their business information, and that's how then they end up doing business together. So again, that's how you grow your community. And again, be open to adapting and evolving as well, as your needs change. And of course, embrace all the technologies you can, right, to keep growing, as well as use a lot of analytic tools, right? So are you growing? Are members engaged? How many times they're sharing content? How many comments you are seeing on the community? Are members exchanging messages among each other, etc., etc., right? So keep an eye on all the analytics to help you grow. And then finally, a lot of this is hard work, but is all this hard work rewarding you, right? Rewarding you, the community organizer, rewarding you, the community builder. So part of the challenge is, are there ways to monetize your community? And if there are ways, then by all means, you should consider them. But I would say only do the monetization after you have done the first 9 steps. And importantly, after you've made sure that there's a lot of engagement as well as there's a lot of value creation. Once you have made sure of that, then you can focus on monetization through different strategies like membership plans, premium content, which is not for free. You can bring in some advertisers to your community. As Ruben said earlier, he found a good niche in entertainment, and now he's finding advertisers or sponsors who are helping pay for some of the community engagement. So again, there are different ways you can monetize it, but again, focus on monetization later on after you have built the engagement, after you have built the value. And I will show you quickly on oGoing side how we are trying to monetize as well, and how we are growing this. So again, these were the quick 10 steps. I already talked about oGoing and why everybody should join, if you have not joined already. But let me take a pause here and maybe take some questions from the audience on the 10 steps. And anybody has questions? Go ahead. Does this seem fairly obvious on some of the things I shared? Steve, go ahead, Steve.
I just have a question. Once you go into, okay, let me rephrase myself.
Sure.
You need to go into different platforms, or you can go through oGoing directly and have the access of these whole groups?
That's a great question, Steve. So oGoing, yes, so oGoing has 150,000 members. So among all the communities we share, that is still the largest community you will get access to, right? So, and yes, oGoing integrates to Facebook, to LinkedIn and Twitter, which is X now. So we give you access to all the platforms. And one of the things we do is when you join oGoing, and I'll share the link in the messaging here, what we do is, if you still want to go to locally and be part of those platforms. So, I mean, you mentioned, well, you're not on Facebook for reasons, but we also give you links to those, and inviting you to join. So we have a very open, platform. We want to make sure that folks are welcome to be on oGoing, but if you really want to and be part of LinkedIn community, just because you are on LinkedIn on a given day, we are like, have access to that. We don't want to stop you from doing that, because, it is something we have built on LinkedIn. So we know that it's something that we are managing and we are moderating, and we would love to have you be part of that. So by being on the oGoing.net and the community, not only it opens you up to the 150,000 members, but also to all these extended communities we have on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, on X, and so on. So yes, we give you the best of both worlds, Steve. Yeah.
Never heard that expression before, best of both worlds.
Absolutely. Thank you. Kumu, you had a question. Kumu, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So is that a real number, 150,000? And of that, how many, if you can tell, I mean, if you want to share, how many of them are paid members, if any?
That's a great question. So we started as a complimentary free community. So for many years, to build our own audience. I mean, as I said earlier, right, the monetization should only come later on once you know that you have created enough intrinsic value and you are seeing that there is some great engagement happening on the community, right? So our goal was to build that value out. So now every new member that joins, we making sure they are a paid member, right? So to answer your question, we started off with a lot of them as free members, but in the last year or so that's why we built the new platform, which is oGoing.net. And over there, we have 3 different membership plans: Essentials, Pro, and Max. And you're welcome to look at those plans. And if you have any questions, send me your feedback. So now that we have built value, every new member who joins is a paid up member. And I would say if I have to break it down, right now we would say 20% would be paid, 80% are still free because of where we started and how we built it. But our goal is going forward is to flip it to 80-20, where it'll be 80% paid and 20% free.
Yeah, because that's an amazing number, 130,000.
I mean, we get 100 odd owners. Sorry, Kumu, go ahead. I apologize. Kumu, go ahead.
So that's a big number, right? The 150K.
Yes.
And
they're all verified. So we make sure
it's almost like, yeah, but that's almost like you were, like a mini Google or something. I mean, that's a very impressive number for you to have it single-handedly. How long did it take?
A lot of hard work, over 10 years of hard work. So it's not been easy.
No, that's amazing. So you definitely have, like, just listening to your session today, you definitely have a lot to teach people about how to scale a business, how to start a business, how to be successful. You can be a good motivational speaker. It's definitely got value. So so congratulations.
Thank you, Kumu. Really appreciate your feedback, and coming from you, I really appreciate it. Yeah, as Ruben said earlier as well, this community building is a lot of hard work, but hopefully rewarding somewhere down the line.
And I think really quick, I don't think you should be intimidated by the number. It should be the quality. Yes. I do the same thing on 20,000, and 10,000 are direct emails and 10,000 on social media. So I think, let's not get caught up on numbers, because we could all have numbers like crazy all over the place. But if you got the quality ones, and that's, like I said, the influential people in Orange County that I've networked with over the years that know me, those are the ones that bring value to me. And that's my particular business model, right? I'm not going for numbers, I'm going for quality. So, like Twyla, you want a specific client. So that's who you should be targeting. Same thing with you, Steve. Whatever works for you in your particular circumstance, whatever's easiest for you to use, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, become the master of that. Because after you find that and build that community, you find out how easy it is to go then to try to learn the Twitter, and then to try to learn the LinkedIn, because each one of them has its own idiosyncrasies. But you'll find out real quick where people gravitate towards you or don't. And I've dropped Twitter because I didn't have anything from that. And I very rarely do LinkedIn. But my Facebook and Instagram, that's where my bread and butter is. So, but it's trial and error. Become the master of one, and then that way you see if it works, and then that way you can expound it. Don't, it's like how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Don't think that you're going to get 150,000 like overnight. No, you're not going to get 10,000 either. But you'll get a nice group of people that you want to do business with you and that want to do business with you.
That's a
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
that's a great
yeah,
point.
yeah, because no, I just find it fascinating because I know somebody who came in the Forbes 40 under 40, and he's got he has a startup as well, and he's got 17 million followers worldwide, and his product is building mobile apps. Like he has where you can build your own app basically. So when I see those kind of numbers, especially one thing that I don't know if you addressed, because I had to check out a little bit, but I mean I had to go out a little bit in the session, but one of the biggest things today is like the social entrepreneurs, meaning the social media people who have made money on social, just by turning on your camera on your laptop and showing how to cook rice has become a big business. So I mean, I was watching the other day a show, and there was an Indian lady in the next town where she did that during the pandemic, and then she took some classes through the small business thing, and today she has a beautifully designed cooked meal, rice meal, selling in Stop and Shop, in the grocery store freezer. And she's just a simple housewife, So I was like, that's amazing. So social media, that's a whole new line of business that has created so many entrepreneurs today, So that's something that should be looked at as well at some point.
No, I think you're absolutely right, Kumu. It definitely has given access to, what I call is, it has leveled the playing field, right? So it has allowed many solopreneurs, many entrepreneurs who are focused in certain, specialties, like you mentioned about cooking rice, or somebody who is great at gardening, or somebody who is really great at, you mentioned mobile software and so on, right? So, yeah, I mean, if you're really good at something, and if you're a way to articulate that, through videos and, through platforms like Instagram or YouTube, and now TikTok and so on, right? Besides LinkedIn as well. So, it really gives you the following, if you may. And once you hit that, a million or more, folks who are now connecting to you, it really starts turning things around. So, absolutely, right? So I think each one of us has that potential. It's just that you need to figure out that magic. What is that recipe for success? And I would always keep coming back to the two things, which is what I added here, which is engagement and value, right? Or actually, it should be value and engagement, right? The first is the value, right? What value you are providing to your audience. And as long as you're providing some intrinsic value, which makes them want to keep coming back, then I think you've hit the mark. And then second is, are they engaged, right? So I think as long as you are keeping them engaged, keeping them excited, keeping them interested, then again, they will come back. And that's how they will start referring you to other folks, other friends, other contacts. And that's how you keep growing.
Yeah, I told myself the day that nobody opens up my email is the day I quit. And I'll find something else to do. But that has not happened, my friend. It's only
Ruben, I think you're going to grow to 100, and then we're going to reassess. Because that's not going to happen. It's just going to keep growing. So, any questions, folks? It's 1 o'clock. I want to be mindful of time, and I really appreciate all of you joining. Again, welcome all of you to look at oGoing. I will email you all the 10 steps, so you can have that in front of you as well, as you are looking at building your own community or wanting to join what we are doing here. And you have my contact, so feel free to connect with me anytime and reach out to me. Yeah, happy Thursday and have a great weekend, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Twyla.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you,
Twyla.
thank you.